Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. And it really comes down to all the things that we talk about on this channel. If you just keep it very simple, you can really come out on top. The problem is people make it way too complex and they go in all these different ways. And you just got to stop the things that you're doing just to make things simplified. And I'm going to talk about just how to do that today if you've lost your way. So first of all, I want to bring this to everybody's attention. The things that come up as far as like this new project or this new wallet or this new service or this new thing usually is going to be trash. And we've pretty much gotten some really good projects out there. And I think there could be some that come out later on. But right now it just seems like it's just constantly trash coming in our way. And it's like they're trying to divert us from all the hard work we did during the bear market, which was just accumulate, dollar cost average, and wait. It's a very simple thing. You don't have to do all this other stuff. You don't have to move things into this DEX. You don't have to do all these like maker taker. You don't have to do trading on leverage. You can do all that stuff if you really want to, but you don't have to. The top people in the world that have the most money are not the day traders. They're the people that just sat around, invested, just took their time, and then here they are. Anyhow, this is what I'm talking about. So this is the Trump wallet. And let's take this piece by piece. This is the website. I'm not going to share it because it's trash. But I will say that the article from CNBC is pretty enlightening. The Trump crypto wallet launches for a meme token. Eric Trump, and I think it's also Donald Trump Jr. denies knowing about it. So there's a wait list that started today. Magic Eden, which is a decentralized platform for NFTs, is offering up to $1 million in Trump rewards for users who sign up and refer friends. Like, you can do it. I don't see the point of it. Magic Eden says it has partnered with the team behind President Trump's meme token to launch an official Trump-branded crypto wallet. Waitlist for the wallet opens up, blah, blah, blah. Eric Trump said he doesn't know anything about it. But if you take a look here, oh, this is Eric Trump, not Donald Trump Jr. I apologize. He says, I run at Trump, and I know nothing about this project that's going on. And I thought to myself, okay, well, that's great. That's fantastic. But when I took a look at it, I'm like, I wonder where is Magic Eden? Because again, if you look in the top right-hand corner of this website, powered by Magic Eden. So where is Magic Eden located? Well, they're incorporated in the United States. Its headquarters at 332 Pine Street, Suite 800, San Francisco, California, 94104. I'm not saying that for you guys to go out there. I'm just saying that's public record. So you're telling me that the President of the United States' son, who runs this company, has no idea what this is. They're using Trump's name, and Magic Eden is just going to be like, yeah, we just decided to do that. You know, don't worry about anything of like copyright infringement or stuff like that. And they're not going to do anything. Okay. So there's that piece. Again, if you want to get into that, good luck. And also to talk about some other things that are going on, debt. Now, when Trump was elected, I thought that he would be great for Bitcoin and crypto. And so far, he's been doing a pretty good job. Now that he's going to raise the debt up, it looks like, I think it's actually another win for Bitcoin as we start getting more debt. That doesn't excuse this fact. This is from Elon Musk. And he tweeted this out this morning, a couple hours ago, or said. He goes, I'm sorry, I just can't stand anymore. He's talking about the big, beautiful bill. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. And he says the people that voted for it are wrong, and they know they're wrong. He also states it will massively increase the gigantic budget deficit to $2.5 trillion and burden American citizens with crushingly unsustainable debt. So look, if this is going to go on, we're going to see more debt. And of course, if there's more debt, I don't think that's really good for the United States as a whole. You can take a look at the U.S. debt clock right now. We're roughly at 36 trillion and rising fast. And if we take on more debt, what can that mean in the long run? And you can kind of see what's going on that with bonds as they're raising up because people don't want to take on more debt from the United States because we're doing it to ourselves. Anyhow, that's what's going on in that section. But you can't do much about that. We have to have a sphere of control, right? And the things that we can control are outside of our realm in that situation. However, there's some things that we can. And I've been talking about this since I got back from the Bitcoin conference. This is Thomas Grief, is that his name? Yeah, Thomas Grief. He is the chief of product and strategy at Brains Mining, a Bitcoin mining operation. And when he came back, it was the same thing that I found. there was a lot of yield, custody, and banking stuff at the Bitcoin conference. Bitcoin yield, sustainable, institutional, maximized. I think I've heard this all before, and it did not end well. Now, look, we talked about Bitcoin loans, the things that are going on, but I'm not convinced at all that these are a good move. And I actually saw this from Bitcoin Cartoons. He was looking at the terms of service for Jack Mallers' Bitcoin loan operation. And in there, it states, you agree and acknowledge that lender may, Jack Mallers' company, may at its sole discretion without notice to you, rehypothecate, pledge, assign, or otherwise transfer all or any part of the Bitcoin collateral to any third party for any purpose during the term of this agreement. So to be fair, Jack Mallers actually did come out and said, yeah, that's just legal language. We're going to change that. But again, it's just another example of like the things that we were supposed to learn from. It's like we don't learn from. So if you want to, I just got to ask a question for everybody before I go on. If you are going to get a Bitcoin loan, everything that I saw, whether that from Ledin, whether that from Lava, whether that from Jack Mallers, it was around 9.5% to 12.5% was the rates. So I'm going to ask everybody a question. Put this in the comments. What are you taking a loan against your Bitcoin? People say there's no risk. I happen to disagree. But what are you taking that money out? And what are you investing that money into that can yield you 9.5% or 12.5% or more? Do not think it's any indices that are out there. S&P 500, historically, you're looking at 7 to 9%. Some years are better than others. Some years are worse. If you're looking at real estate like I do, you're not going to hit 9.5 to 12.5%. You're just not. Sorry. So I'm going to ask everybody again, put this in the comment section, or if you're watching this on the repeat, what are you going to do if you take a loan against your Bitcoin? Are you hoping that it just appreciates and you just keep taking loans and loans and loans? And are you worried about the fact that the actual price of Bitcoin might be a little bit volatile and actually may die down as we go into part of this cycle? Just curious where everybody's at with that. Let me know what you think about that piece. And also, when I talk about we keep losing, and keep hearing stuff like this. Now, this actually had a really good ending. This was Kalo, I don't know who this guy is, but states that I lost my life savings in one click using @safe last night. @safe, the safe wallet. That's after 8 years of holding ETH and avoiding scams. That's pretty good. A UX bug within the official bridge feature implied the destination address was my safe on base. It wasn't. Essentially, due to the age of my safe wallet, a bad actor, whoever this is, had exploited a window of time last year to deploy my safe mainnet address on base with a different owner address. Now, what he did is he reached out, I guess, to the founders of Safe and I guess some other projects, and he was able to get these funds back. I'm not for sure how the heck he did that, but to me, it looks like there's a bad actor. It went to another address, and he lost his entire life savings. And somehow, way, shape, or form, he got it back. But I can tell you, for every one story where someone got their funds back, there's about 100 other stories where people lost their entire life savings. And again, these are the things where we just keep losing and losing and losing because it's very difficult. And it's just a big hassle. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to get even more scams. Check this out. Do you guys remember this video? I don't know if you've seen this. This is a pretty funny one. That's Ben, the CRYPTOVERSE, when we were at the Bitcoin Las Vegas. I want you to watch this video. Hold on. This is about 30 seconds. And I want to show you what a scammer did to that video and how they're using it. Again, 30 seconds. This is the real video.
Hey, everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the CRYPTOVERSE. I'm coming at you from Las Vegas, where we're going to be at the Bitcoin conference. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin dominance. It is now at 64%, and altcoins just had a new low in terms of weekly closes against Bitcoin. And I do think we likely will see that trend.
My altcoins?
Not your altcoins.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so we're not talking about your altcoins, but I do think Bitcoin dominance will likely to trend higher. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, funny stuff. Everybody's having a good laugh. So that's that part. And then this was sent to me from a friend who said, Rob, I don't think this is legit. And they, LOL'd. But this is what people are doing with AI. And of course, the quality is not the greatest because we had to download it from secondary site, but just take a listen to this. Just take a listen to the tone.
Hello there. You are lucky to be among the random people I decided to reach out to today to know how trading has been and to also know if you have found my content useful so far. But first, I would like to know your name and where you are from.
Great. And of course, that engineers to, oh, my name is Susan blah, 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 and I am a big fan of yours. Oh, great. Hey, guess what? If you could send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 back, or whatever the heck it is. It's something stupid. So those types of things, people would say, well, no one's going to fall for that. People fall for that all the time. And if you think that's like not a great video, you're right. But look what you can do right now with AI. You can almost perfectly match people's voices, and you can reach out to them and essentially become scams. And if you think this is like not the greatest quality, you're right. But this is over how much time? About 6 months, maybe 9 months or so, year maybe. So next year and going forward, I think we're going to see a lot more scams. We're going to see a lot more people getting screwed over, a lot more social engineering, because not everybody's like you who's watching this video. Not everybody tunes in every day and keeps up with the market. A lot of people are just like, you know what? I'm just going to put it into this and hopefully it makes it. And then if somebody calls me, whatever. So that's it. So I'm worried about everybody. And I just think this is going to keep happening. Also, this is from Lawrence Leopard. He says, has anyone else received 5 calls per day from Coinbase customer security? I must have gotten 100 plus. Thanks, Coinbase. And if you don't remember, Coinbase had that hack. There was a bribe for their customer service department, which they actually have a customer service department. And they know if you use Coinbase, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the different exchanges had this also happen, some type of data leak. I'm not for sure if it's at this extent, but they know your name, they know your address, they know the last 4 of your social, the last parts of your bank account number, and they know how much you've actually taken in or bought of all the crypto. So if you have over like, I don't know, 6 figures or something like that, you might be a little concerned. So these things are going to keep happening, and the only winners here are going to be the scammers. So how do you protect yourself? So all this stuff that we talk about, how do you protect yourself? The less you do, the more you'll have. I want you to remember that. The less you do, the more you'll have. All these things that these social engineering things, and even like going through this like bridges of Ethereum to this and another bridge because I wanted this yield and da-da-da. The less you do of that stuff, the more you're going to have. The people that I have met, especially at the Bitcoin conference, the richest people are the ones that don't do that trash. They don't do any of that stuff. You know what they do? They buy and hold. And they wait for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years and go, well, it's fun being a billionaire. And that's pretty much it. I don't know why people make this so difficult. However, to help you out with at least the scam part, if someone calls you from Coinbase or Kraken or, CZ Binance personally calls you and says, hey, I've noticed something that there's wrong on your Binance account or whatever else it is, or somebody from some wallet, you're going to say, this is what you're going to say. You're going to say, thank you, and you're going to hang up immediately. That's it. You don't have to say thank you. You can say whatever you want. Sometimes I answer. Sometimes I don't. Yeah, hang up. You're going to hang up first. And then what you're going to do, you're going to go directly to the source. Say like Coinbase. And I didn't know this until today, actually, about this little thing about the chats. So when you go to Coinbase or Binance or anything else, you just scroll down to the bottom. And you just go to support. And every single website of every single wallet, centralized exchange, anything else, they're going to have a help part or contact us. You're going to click on that and you're going to log in. And did you know that they actually have not a crappy virtual assistant, but they have like a real person that you can talk to? And it was where I chat and I said, hey, Anandita, someone called me from Coinbase and asked me about my account. Is anyone from Coinbase contact me lately? I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. And then she says, no. Where'd she go here? Whoops. There we go. Robbie, Coinbase support does not make unrequested outbound phone calls to customers. If you receive a call claiming to be from Coinbase, it was likely a scam, which I know that, right? But maybe you who are out there, or you who are telling your friends and family to invest into crypto, or you who are like, maybe you're gonna hang up on every single person that calls you. You're going to not answer those emails. You're going to not take a direct message from, Ben Cowan into the Cryptoverse who wants you to be his personal trader or whatever else. You're going to stop that. immediately, and you're going to reach out to those people, and we're going to stop all of these attacks because this is ridiculous. I don't want to see one more email, one more message, one more anything of people saying I got socially engineered. This is really eating at me. So anyhow, there's that. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do this. You're going to diversify how you hold your crypto. If you're holding on exchange, God bless you. Good luck. Exchanges can be hacked. They can also be social engineered. You can go through a social engineering, all that stuff. I want you to put it on multiple different cold storage, hot wallets, even a little central exchange. This is me, so everybody knows. I have 7 TANGEM wallets. Each TANGEM wallet comes with a 3-pack. Well, except for the one of them I have a 2-pack, so I was too chintzy and cheap to buy the 3-pack. That's on me, though. I have 7 of those between me and my wife. I have 4 ledgers. And of course, between those 2, I have 50% in TANGEM and 40% in ledgers, and they're scattered all over the place because I am paranoid. And you would be too if somebody had your address and everything else, and you're like, I don't want to get wrench attacked. That's right. For centralized exchanges, I do have about 1% on there. And that's because like every day I buy crypto. So it's always going to be on there. For a hot wallet like MetaMask and Phantom, I got about another 1% or so. And for iTrust, actually it's more actually. iTrust, I said 8, I probably have about 10%. But that's through a Roth IRA, which I have for retirement. And also, I'm using them for custody service. They use the same custody service as Coinbase Prime, which is the same one that BlackRock and MicroStrategy uses. And they're using that, and I get that. And just so you know, I just got this message today, which I actually called my contact, and I said, hey, is this BS? Because this doesn't look right. And it was a text message. And I verified it because I have a person in there. How would you verify? I'll tell you in a second. iTrust Capital, hi Robbie, crypto deposits are now available for premium custody accounts, because before you had to like sell your crypto, put it into cash, send the cash over there, and then buy your crypto. Now you get institutional grade custody and you just transfer your crypto over there. And again, it's being custodied by Coinbase Prime. Did I tell you it's from Coinbase Prime? Just so you know, it's Coinbase Prime. It's the same one that MicroStrategy, okay, you get the point. So you're doing that. There's no cost to move it. There's no cost to move it. No fee to send it. You get institutional grade custody today. But when you sell it, it is 1%. And there is limited orders available at some point. And why is that? Well, if you move your crypto over there and something happens, there's a hack or something on Coinbase Prime or whatever that is, well, you can't move cash around very easy. I just tried to move $5,000 yesterday from my bank. You know how hard it was? It was extremely hard. Banks suck. So when you have cash, very difficult to move, a lot easier to move Bitcoin. And then for you, if you'd like to do something like this, which I'm going to recommend everybody do at least 5% and put it into some kind of custody. Crazy, I know. I'm going to be putting up to 25% because I'm tired of this. I'm tired. So we'll do that. And there's a number. I want you to call these guys. They're based in the United States. They have real people, and they'll talk to you. 562-600-8399. But Rob, what if you're AI? And how can I trust you? You can't trust me. This could all be AI. All of this. I need you to go to iTrust. I need you to scroll all the way down, just like you did with Coinbase. I need you to find this phone number and call that number, which coincidentally is the same number over here, but whatever. I have that same number in the comments and the description of this video. And that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive, but that's it for that piece. And I'm going to get off my soapbox and I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. And we'll go from there. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let's get into it. Coinbase supposedly called me a couple months ago, but I told them I don't invest anymore when I lost and cash everything. There you go. That's a good way to do it, right? Supposedly, there's no longer going to support the Nano S. That sucks. That's a problem because I've got 3 Nano S's. Excuse me, I have 2 Nano S's and 2 Nano X's. Awesome. You need to get a new device, Nano S Plus. Oh, okay. Let's see. Press says, this is news to me. It says recently. I'm not for sure. I consider it to be, yeah, there you go, Daniel. That's the way to do it. Yeah, real raid bosses. Don't blame someone else if you use a centralized exchange with KYC. Real raid, I'm kind of stuck as an American citizen. I think international, there's more options for everybody, which is how it is. You know, Nick over at Coin Bureau said something funny. He said, KYC now is called kill your customer. That's essentially what's going on. Will do. Appreciate it. Next cycle, very worthless. The pool is, this is all AI. All this is AI, except that dog. That dog right there is real. And she's always sleeping. Anyhow. Let's see. Hey, Rob, I was watching the Bitcoin comments online during the day. There were dozens of fake IA videos of the speakers doing the send me one Bitcoin. It was shocking. You know what I was thinking about doing is doing a video like that where like it's AI. You know, it's like Michael Saylor, right? I wanted to do a video like that. If like put a Michael Saylor in there with the AI voice, which is pretty good, but not perfect, you know? And then when it says, okay, now is the time. I'd like to thank you for investing in a MicroStrategy. I'd like to send you to Ethereum. Because, you know, that's what Michael Saylor invests in, Ethereum. I'm going to send you to Ethereum. You send me this address. And it's going to be right over here. And then what I would do is I would put a big clown face right there. And I'd say, if you fell for this, you are a moron. This is a scam. Move away as quickly as possible. And then they'd be like, oh, these are all scams. That would be my... I wonder if YouTube would probably ban that, but that'd be pretty fun. Let's see. Ledger Nano S has reached its end of life and is no longer supported. But the Ledger Nano X needs to be supported by it. Press says, is iTrust FDIC? If not, how do you trust them? Well, first of all, I've been with them for 5 years. Second of all, they got through 2022 with that bear market, won a lot of different projects and centralized exchanges and a lot of loaning platforms went belly up. That's 2. 3, FDIC insurance. It is cash. I want you to call them. I want you to ask them that exact same question. Why are you asking me? Call them. All right. Ledger Nano S has reached its end of life. Dang, that sucks. Hucksters and fraudsters and Ponzi schemes. Verhoofty said it perfectly. Ledger still provides security updates and supports for the Nano X. Respect to David. Just moved all my coin holdings over $1,000 off of Coinbase and several different TANGEM wallets. Don't forget to move a little first to verify delivery and do some more. That's the way to do it. Retro Beast. Hey, Rob, what have we got to look forward to now? Comments was great, but what's going to be the next thing moves for the next leg? I don't know. I think peace between Russia and Ukraine would be big, even though they just launched an offensive using drones. And they attacked Russia. I know people are going to correct me. Well, I don't know. So there's just, we'll say this. If that comes to a termination, that'd be great. The second of all is if we figure out what Trump wants to do, it doesn't do a taco. And he says, okay, we're going to give this much tariffs for everybody, and this is the standard, and this is it. And all the other countries think it's fair, which would be impossible. Or most of them think it's fair. I think things would probably take a turn for the better. And then, of course, if we start printing a lot more money, that'd probably be good for the markets. Probably wouldn't be too great for inflation, but that is what it is. And as far as the other stuff, I think it would be just, I don't think so much it's more businesses getting into Bitcoin. Because here's what I keep thinking about. So you had MetaPlanet, and you had MicroStrategy, and you had a host of other companies just came out and said, we're putting Bitcoin on our balance sheet, which is great. And then I'd like to see more sovereign wealth funds put it on there because they don't really sell a ton, sovereign wealth funds, but corporations can sell and offload. I guess you can do it either way. But I'm just starting to think about how bad the next bear market's going to be when, and this happened to Michael Saylor. He bought it in 2020. He was a god in 2021, and then he was a pauper or a clown in 2022. Of course, now he's back to being up top. But now we've got more people in the game, and maybe those people can't structure their business the right way, and they start to lose too much, and they have to start selling their Bitcoin to pay to keep the doors open. Not for sure, but if you can tell me with 100% assurance that every single company that bought Bitcoin and put on their balance sheet is 100% A-OK and have massive amount of reserves that won't go under, great. If not, you're going to see a lot of posturing from the media and from the different publications saying what a mistake that was, which will of course scare everybody. This will lead to a panic because the markets are full of nothing but a bunch of panicky people who can't keep anything because they have no discipline whatsoever. That's what I think is going to happen. Wow, negative. I know, huh? Right? Hey, Uncle. I haven't watched you for a long time. Thanks for your passion and sharing your wins and losses. Yes, I really appreciate your channel. I need to diversify my culture. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it. Some days I just get in a really bad mood, and this is one of those days. Because it wasn't just this. There was a couple emails that I got from some other people who lost everything. Like, everything. And, you know, when they're asking for advice on what they have to do because they have to go through treatments and they have no money to do it, and these piece of trash scammers are stealing from them, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I just have to keep reminding everybody to do these things that I talk about, which I can't give you financial advice, right? But I can give you some kind of, like, I guess some safety advice a little bit, which is, this is what I do. Try to do that. And, you know, try to make it through, and that's it. Yeah. Rob, then copy our voice and use the people. Yeah, it'd be pretty good. I've had several wallets, also had an NOS. We just got the trades are safe, and I really like it. And it was great too. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah. Janelle says, FDIC won't cover diddly for the numbers, maybe for us po folk, but no one with money to lose. Well, it was a good question. I probably was a little bit too aggressive, but yeah, I think with the FDIC insurance, it used to be 250,000. Maybe they've increased that to 500,000. Not for sure in the United States. And that's just for cash itself, but that's a Wells Fargo portion for that, which would be one of their partners. Yeah, Wells Fargo, Fidelity, and Fireblocks. So yeah, cash is there. Let's see. When they were broadcasting those scam videos, I always showed thousands of people watching. I don't understand how they pass YouTube security systems. I reported all of them. Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing to me too. I should probably just go into the scam business because that seems to be way more profitable. And also you get a lot more views. I wonder if Fidelity Crypto is FDIC insured. Might be checking out. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Well, you can't be FDIC insured with crypto per se. Yeah, there's no, that's for just straight cash. Let's see. There's a different email. Yeah. No, Fidelity's crypto investments, including spot crypto, are not FDIC insured. Yeah. Daniel says lame. Trump 2028, I doubt that's going to happen. Southern Samurai, I'm playing a long game. Big bear market is just buying opportunity. I have to agree. Let's see. Rob, is your fast just water? And how many days also is the time you pray? So my fast is water, electrolytes, and black coffee only. So that's it. Sometimes it's 24 hours, sometimes it's 72 hours, sometimes it's 96 hours. Just depends. So like 2, 3, 4 days, something like that. And as far as how many times a day do I pray, it just depends how many times I'm. Usually it's once or twice a day. But if I'm flying, it's a lot more. I hate flying. Okay. I lost 21K on TrueCoin. Sorry, Mike. We all appreciate good mood and bad mood. It's real here. I feel deep down, though, still will be rewarded. I think so. Very good insights. Big adoption can also be big sell-off. Also true, Fuzz. Yeah. Bemberin says, Rob, why don't you just buy BlackRock Bitcoin ETFs and take the management fee hit versus all the anxiety of managing cold wallets? I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. Or I could just take the Bitcoin that I have, because here's the thing, like, if I want to get into an ETF, first I have to sell all my Bitcoin, pay, because I still have capital gains on those things. Even though I live in Puerto Rico, some of those Bitcoin were actually bought before 2020. So I have that. That's a thing. But with iTrust, I think the big thing is that I can just take all my Bitcoin, which I don't have that much, and I can just send it to iTrust. Just say, stick that over there, and stick it in with Michael Saylor's stuff and Fink's Bitcoin, and just protect it. That's it. That's all I got to do. I lost 16K shorting ADA. Imagine that sucks. Yeah. Oh yeah, 250K is FDIC per account. Cold wallets will be for degens. I don't know about that one. How is the TANGEM staking going? Pretty good. I just have Solana there. I was kind of disappointed because I was moving some Cardano around from my wife's wallet from her Coinbase, and I just got her a TANGEM wallet, another one, and with that, I was like, hey, you should probably stake with my stake pool, and there wasn't an option there. So see you. So yeah, I don't report scams because only the strong survive. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys one more thing. This is kind of important, and that is that those TANGEM wallets, if you get them from today until I think until the 10th, they're 20% off today. Yeah. And if you get a 2-pack, I think it's $45, but I get the 3-pack. Don't be, because you don't want to lose too many of those things. So it's 20% off. It's pretty good. Let's see. Cranston says, my now mate who got me into crypto never mentioned what to buy, only told me security. It's probably a better friend than most of us. DCA into Bitcoin ETF. Yeah. I like Blockstream. What electrolytes you take? It's the same one that Dana White took. I forgot the name of it. But if you guys, there's a link in the description. It's called Max Out Mondays. It's like a health channel. And just follow me over there, and I show you all the different stuff that I take. Any info about Sui? Recently bought some. No, I don't have really too much going on. Yeah, that's crazy. Can you send Bitcoin to iTrust? I thought they make you buy it. Nope. That just came out today, 3 hours ago. You can send it to them, and they can custody it for you. But again, call them up and ask them all the questions. They just hired 32 new people so they could actually do what Coinbase doesn't do, which is have a pretty good customer service department. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize, because Coinbase did have a customer service department. That's kind of a jerk of me. And her name was Constant. Oh, I was not even close. Anadita. So that's the truth. Let's see. David says, do you think TANGEM cards are susceptible to NFC scanners? Here's the beauty of TANGEM. If you guys go into the description of this video, and I'm going to talk about right here. It says Tangem cold storage wallet. Watch this deep dive video and it'll explain why. But here's the thing. Let's say this is a Tangem card, just for the purposes of it. You have this card and the app itself is on here, and you are a thief, or let's just go with a thief, right? And you steal my card. Like if you steal somebody's debit card, you can probably use it as like, when you go to swipe things, just use it as a credit, sign some goofy name, and then off you go, right? But if you have my Tangem card, you're gonna need the app to move my crypto. So people say, well, that's very easy. I'll just download the app and start moving. Sure. When you download the app, then you're gonna need one of two things. Either a passcode, or you're gonna have the Face ID to open up the app. So even if you download the app and you have the card, you can't move anything. That's it. And actually, when you have a new app itself, you have to actually have two of the cards to reset everything. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, what if I steal your phone, Rob? Well, if you steal my phone, you still need my card, because you have to do like this to move things. And to answer your question, David, if it's, what was it? The NFC scanners. So someone just coming by and they like have that little scan thing and they brush it by your pocket, like what they do with debit credit cards. They still would need the app with your face or your PIN code to get into the app to move your crypto. So it's a pretty safe thing. I like it. That's it. Let's see, what am I? New feature. Yep. Do you think it's all in all Bitcoin cycle? It's feeling pretty close. Have you got the World Mobile eSIM yet? No, but I saw Mickey he was at the same restaurant we were at. And he's like, hey, there's this party in the back. You want to come in? Yeah, sure. So we were just talking to all these different things he's doing over at World Mobile, and we didn't even talk about that. But there's some good things coming at World Mobile. But I haven't got the eSIM yet. iTrust equals Celsius. Well, no, because I think if you were going to collapse, you would have collapsed in 2022. And right now, with everything going sky high and doing well, you'd be just fine. But imagine going through, if you didn't do the right things during that bear market, you would have collapsed. And you should have collapsed. And that's why the FTX, the BlockFi, the Celsius, and the Voyagers collapsed. Also, Three Arrows Capital and a host of other different exchanges. I have no idea what they're called, but there's been a lot. And it's also why, I think it's like over 40% of the altcoins have collapsed since 2021 big push, because they're worthless. So if you didn't collapse in that one, you'd be hard pressed to say that you're going to collapse anytime soon. Yeah, human greed will never fail. Very true. You're welcome, David. Quit Time says, would you keep the seed phrase when you set up Tangem, or would you not keep the seed phrase? So Tangem Wallet offers you the ability to extract your seed phrase and put it in those 24 or 25 words in the mnemonic phrase, which we're all used to. I did not opt for that. I don't like that. I don't like having a book of my seed phrase just kind of hanging around. I just don't like it. And then people say, well, not your keys, not your crypto. That's right. The seed phrase is within that card. I physically hold that card, and that is the seed phrase. That's what allows me to move crypto back and forth. So you can do that like a ledger. Actually, you can do that with a Tangem too. You can either say, okay, I want to keep the seed phrase in the card. That's why you get 3. Or I want to extract this seed phrase into a book, and I want to hope that it doesn't smudge, or that I don't have a fire, or some contractor doesn't come to my house and just, happen to pick up a book that he didn't really know about, but now he has all my seeds. Or I don't want to, accidentally lose that book. So I don't do it. But some people do, and they really like it. I still have my seed phrases for my ledgers because that's the only option. But I just don't like the other option. I just don't. Robin says, please put the address of the fasting stuff. All right. So that is in the description of every single video I do. Right here. Under follow Dan. There's Twitter or X. There's Dan DGen. And this Max Monday push. How I stay in shape after 50. Hint, steroids. Not just kidding. Yeah, so that's where it's at. Real Red Boss says, if you're more clever, you can use the TANGEM ring and not the cards when it comes to thieves coming to your home with a wrench. That's true. They have this ring. I just don't like it. I just can't get away from that. So like I'm evolving, you know, first the mnemonic phrases to, they have, TANGEM has this ring where if you want to send your crypto, you just, it's like, it looks just like this actually. This isn't it. This is a rubber ring I got from Walmart for like $3. And you do this, and then when you're on your app, you say, I want to send it here, and you just, that's it. It's got the code in your ring. Pretty crazy, huh? Hello, Mohammed. Yeah, that's a good one. Study Bug says, you have a key too that needs biometrics for any purchase. The Ubico or YubiKey. That's one I should really get. That's why I like TANGEM. What are the current theta risk levels? I don't think theta's even on there, quite honestly. Matt says, I feel like only a handful of Australians believe in Bitcoin. So happy I got in and start. And still during COVID and beyond, forever, nothing stops this train. That was a good talk from Lynn. I was actually there. Yeah, that's it. Ultimate Replenisher. That's the one I use. Yeah. Well, that was it for everybody. So I think I answered everybody's questions, so we're good. So everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. I don't want to keep too much of your time. Get out of here. Go enjoy the rest of the day. But that's it for today. So thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.